Hello, and welcome to the Good Buddies Anime Podcast. I'm your good buddy Brandon.
And I'm your good buddy Roger. And that was a
Smooth.
sultry.
Fucking smooth.
You freaking nailed it, dude.
All right. Let's hype it up a little bit, though. I'm your good buddy Brandon.
I'm Roger.
Hey, we got there.
We're good buddies.
I just noticed you have a giant hole in the armpit of your shirt. That's gross.
I do. This shirt is old, and I've wore it a lot of times. It's my Oscar shirt. I love it.
It is. It is very good. All right. Well, how's it going, man?
It's going, dude. It's going. I've had an okay week. Lots of stuff keeping me busy.
Yeah.
But
as per usual.
Yeah.
Well, what are we doing? We're breaking down Aggretsuko, but first,
let's talk about them animes.
What
have we been watching?
What have you been watching?
You went first last time, right?
Did
so I'll
I?
go first this time?
I think I did, yeah.
I caught up on My Hero Academia.
Hey, my dude's in the fucking party.
I watched all of the third season so far. I'm loving it.
Yeah,
it's really good.
I like it a lot too.
We'll see. I don't know if I mentioned this.
I told you about that dude with the crazy teeth, right?
Yeah.
Fucking shit, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking shit, right?
Weird, dude. He's like a gimp too.
It's so creepy. I'm really enjoying the season so far.
Yeah, I really liked it. I might have mentioned before that I hadn't been watching it because I started watching it with my girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And I was at the point, I was like, oh, forget it, I'm watching this. I was like, she would not wait for me. And I know because we've been watching the X-Files, but she does not hesitate if I'm not in the room to continue watching.
But does she know you've been watching it without her?
Yeah, she does.
Okay, I was going to say.
She heard me watching it.
And was she like, you fucker?
She probably did make a comment, and I just tuned it out.
Worst.
So I caught all the way up on that. I watched my episode of
Berserk.
Megalobox.
You still watching Berserk?
I'm current on Berserk. I'm waiting for the rest of the season to release or whatever. I watched a little of it in Japanese, but I was like, I'll just wait for the other one.
Yeah.
So I can go on to some other stuff.
The show.
And
sounds like you've had a big week.
I think I'm up to episode 4 on that. I watched Megalobox. I watched Full Metal Panic. I've been trying to find something else to watch, though. Something, now that everything's on an episodic base, dude, and I've been failing miserably. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I tried, this is like my third time trying to watch Durarara or Durarara, however you say it.
Durarara?
Yeah.
That's the one with the black biker, right?
Yeah, it's like the headless biker, got the cat helmet.
Yeah.
I can't get into it.
I've seen like parts of that, and I thought, oh, this looks cool, but I've never actually bothered to check it out.
Yeah, I couldn't get in that. I watched...
just find you some random shit on Verve.
I watched the first 3 episodes. I think I'll give it 2 more and see, of Blood Blockade Battlefront. I don't even
know what that is.
It's the guy that wrote Trigun.
Oh, okay.
Did this anime, and I'm not into it.
And you're like,
I'll give it
Trigun.
It's all over the place. That's kind of the problem with it. And then I started Overlord, which I'm mildly interested in.
Okay.
But I've got about 3 or 4 episodes in that. We'll see by the 5th episode if I like it or not. A lot of people say really cool things about it. It's like a game. And it's kind of cool too because the dude gets trapped in an RPG, and how most people are trying to get out. Within the first episode or so, he's like, oh, I don't care. I think I'm just gonna stay here.
Nice.
So he's just exploring the RPG. All the NPCs come to life.
Hey man, this guy knows what he's about. Clearly.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll see. I'm trying to find something really. I do have some other things in my queue to go through, but.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of suggestions, so I don't know if I'm running out anytime soon.
Yeah. Go ahead, dude. Tell me what you've been watching.
I've been watching. I honestly didn't get a whole lot. I didn't watch a whole lot this week, but I did because I talked about how I had rented it on Amazon and I really wanted to watch it. I watched a movie which I actually have had a couple friends say, hey, you guys gonna do some movies? So, we might do some.
Mm-hmm.
But I watched Your Name.
Okay.
Which I cannot say almost anything about without huge spoilers.
Yeah.
Because man, oh man, but it was.
I heard it's really good.
I really enjoyed it. It had some really clean animation, some really cool moments. There's bits where like one of the characters is like drawing with a pencil, and like it's clearly a 2D animated pencil, but it's leaving what looks like real life fucking like lead drawings and shit. Same thing with like a character drawing with chalk and stuff. It's beautiful. There's one scene in particular that like they do this crazy watercolor shit, and like you'll know it when you see it if you watch it, because good God, is it beautiful. But the little bit I can tell you about the story is that it involves a boy and a girl. The boy is kind of a typical like lives in Tokyo dude. He goes to a big high school and whatnot. And he lives in like an apartment, I think with just his dad. They don't really get into details there, but he's like a typical dude. And there you go. He's kind of just a normal guy. Studying to be an architect. It seems like he's got you see like one of the first things you see in his room is like a big poster on the wall that says architecture or something like that. But then the other character is this girl who's from a kind of a rural, like out of like small town. Kind of a like it's on a big lake, and it's like the town surrounds this lake. It's a very small, like not obviously not Tokyo level, like nowhere near.
Just a small town.
Yeah.
Girl.
Living in a lonely world. You're the
song.
worst. Oh no, it literally is Journey though. No, because she's a small town girl and he's a city guy, and they do in fact take a train. But shit. But no, it's a very cool thing. The girl she like lives with her little sister and her grandma is very traditionalist. They run this shrine. And so they're like, they weave stuff and whatnot. That becomes like a big allegory as they're weaving stuff. She also has to participate in this festival, and this like ritual where they have to like, her and her little sister have to use this rice to make this special sake that they then offer at this shrine for these gods or something. It's very interesting, but the little bit I can tell you without getting into crazy spoiler territory is that basically when they go to sleep, every now and then, at least maybe once or twice a week, it seems like, they just wake up in each other's bodies. And the first couple of times it happens, like the first time like the very first thing you see is like the girl waking up and she goes, "What? Wait," and then she just starts squeezing her tits, and her little sister opens the door and she's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, It's weird, but then like it cuts and it's the next day and she's in her own body again and she doesn't know what happened. And then there's a similar thing with the dude later, but beyond that, I cannot say much without getting into...
Is she squeezing that dong?
She definitely, like, touches it and goes, "Oh, shit!" Like, it's really great. But, man, it's very... I enjoyed it a lot. It does get fairly dramatic. Like, the first half hour, it's pretty interesting because you can tell, like, it felt like watching a show because the intro, like, the beginning of it, it has an intro. And it, like, you see clips from later on in the show and you're like, okay, I'm watching an anime. And then, like, a half hour in, it's like, that's the first act, and it's like, blah, blah, blah. And, like, you see another little, like, music number is, like, it's a montage of them and shit. Mm-hmm. It's really interesting. But then, like, ooh, boy. That's as far as I can go without getting into crazy spoiler territory, because shit gets pretty heavy eventually. And it's very good. And I can't recommend it enough. I think it's one of those things like everyone should watch. Apparently, I'm not the only one because this fucker was breaking records.
Yeah, I know a lot of people really liked it.
It made a lot of money. There's of course, as with anything that makes a lot of money, there is a live action version in the works in Japan. Apparently, Mr. Bad Robot Studios wants to
bring it over here.
Wants to make an English
Leonardo
version.
DiCaprio in it.
They are. I mean, I don't know if Leonardo DiCaprio is going to be in it, but
I feel like he's the initial pick for any anime movie.
I mean, he was for a while. I don't know if he still is. They were talking about doing that vampire kid with some other stuff before. You remember Robert Pattinson? Mm-hmm. But yeah, apparently, is it Abrams? J.J. Abrams?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that dude. From what I've read, he's interested in. is apparently trying to get a English version made. Now I don't know if that's going to be an animated film or if he's going to do a live action, whatever. I don't know if it'll even happen, but
do you think they'll
just get ahead of the curve is what I'm saying, and watch this fucking movie because it's goddamn beautiful.
Do you think they'll ever do an American anime movie, like an American remake of an anime?
I really hope not.
Do you think they'll ever do one well?
Well, no, I don't think they'll ever do one well.
I actually didn't think Ghost in a Shell was that bad.
I cannot have this conversation with you because I will get so mad.
I didn't think it was that bad.
I can't.
If you compare it to the original movie,
I can't.
Did you watch the original movie?
Yeah, I own the original movie on VHS.
Yeah, I don't think I have it on VHS. I have it on DVD.
Had that shit on VHS.
I rented it on
baby.
VHS.
Had to dig out the fucking VCR.
I thought it was okay.
I can't.
It was not the worst I've ever seen. It wasn't Dragon Ball Evolution.
I can't. I'm not gonna talk with you about that film. I will say this, that it really bums me out when stuff like that happens because, like, and granted, I haven't watched like the Death Note on Netflix. It just looks too weird. But like, specifically the one that really it just makes me just want to actually let my soul leave my body is that they keep talking about doing an American Akira.
Yeah, so they always talk about Leonardo DiCaprio.
I remember that. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that conversation, reading those articles and being like, "This is the worst." The story of that is so intrinsically tied to Japan. To put it anywhere else makes no fucking sense, and it just wouldn't work. This one, honestly, they might be able to get away with it, but I don't know. I still wouldn't. I would still say just watch this damn movie. Watch Your Name because it's so damn pretty.
You get upset about the American anime movies?
Dude,
I like that they try.
I don't.
I don't know. I would rather them try and potentially come up with something good than never try and, at least keeps it somewhat relevant.
They ain't done it yet. They couldn't even get the American.
And I wasn't saying that Ghost in a Shell movie was good by any stretch of.
What do they call it when it's like a American cartoon but it's anime style?
Americanime.
They couldn't even get that right with the fucking Airbender movie. Like, shit, dude.
Oh yeah, that was M. Night Shyamalan.
That was a Shyamalan.
Yeah, Shyamalan. Ding dong.
That one just really pissed me off. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about actual thing we watched. That's what we've been watching. Tell us what you've been watching, either by commenting or sending us an email, asking us a question, whatever, man. We want to hear what you're talking about too.
I do want to say one more thing about Berserk.
Oh no.
I got into the second season, and I meant to say this earlier. So I got into the second season. The animation is better. They dropped a little bit of that cross hatching, and it is not censored. So thank you for that.
Sexy.
However, in some of the later episodes, I have seen some screenshots and stuff, or like some frames that people uploaded where the animation is like particularly bad. It's not like the characters
like arms are coming off arm.
No, it's like you ever seen old like Flash animation or whatever? So when they make forward movement, the person is just bouncing up and down, going forward. There's scenes like that where Guts is doing that, and I'm like, oh
that's
wow,
really bad.
But thankfully, it has the redeeming thing about Berserk, and I would never recommend that somebody skip it if you like Berserk, is that the story is still there. It's still a very good story.
Okay.
And close your eyes. Just close your eyes.
Okay.
Listen.
Okay.
But
you're the worst.
You get used to the animation. Enough with that.
Let's talk about
what we are reviewing.
We're breaking down Aggretsuko. Aggretsuko?
Aggretsuko. That's what
something
I
like
say.
that.
They say her name Retsuko, so
Aggretsuko.
Retsuko.
I do love this show. I told you before we started, like I'd already watched this, and before we decided we were gonna watch it for the podcast, I had started rewatching it. So I in fact was like on episode 6, and I was like, well, back to 1. So
yeah. I have never identified with the main character more. And maybe that's how it's supposed to be. Maybe
she's relatable, certainly.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, and even all the side characters, I know that person.
Like, you know someone who is that person. We don't need to name names because
I'm not going to throw any names out there.
But we all know.
Yeah.
Bunch of good for nothings, would you say?
Yeah, a bunch of good for nothings. Whole lot of good for nothings
all right.
in this anime. This little Flash anime. I love it.
Well, let's start it on episode 1.
A Day in the Life of Aggretsuko.
All right. So this one starts out with a big welcoming ceremony at some company for these new hires. There's a big elephant who we assume is the boss, and he's giving a big speech talking about, I look across this crowd of excited young people and welcome you to our company, blah, 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 that kind of thing. It's really great. We find out it's Aggretsuko's first day. She's so excited to begin work and become a productive member of society, and she does like a big, 80s movie jump in the air, freeze frame. She's like, yeah! And then she comes right back down and just fucking
Just
shatters her ankle. Like lands on her foot sideways. It's if it's sprained, it's a bad sprain. It's probably just broked. But that happens. She lands on her ankle and then just goes into her freaking rage mode. So and that's a big thing with her is she is very often raging. She has the look of a fucking Kiss Army demon with a rage kanji on her forehead, and she just screams because you find out pretty quickly she's super into death metal.
And
that's her
it is
thing.
freaking great.
It's so good. So, 5 years later, I think the subtitle here actually says The Beginning of Despair, which was pretty cool. We see Aggretsuko's room. Her alarm is going off at 7 a.m. Her room is filthy. There's beer cans and takeout trays everywhere, dirty clothes on the floor. It looks a lot like my room. Hey, girl. So she just smashes that snooze button a couple times. And finally, when she does get up, she is moving. She jumps up, washes her face, grabs some toast, hair and makeup, runs out. I got my phone, I got my bus pass, I got this and that, I got everything. Cool. And she starts leaving. She says, wait. And then she runs back to her bed, and under the cover, she pulls out a big microphone that she carries with her, which is what she uses when she needs to rage and get those feelings out. So she gets all her stuff in order. She's riding the train, and there's a llama just resting his fucking chin on her head.
Yeah.
Fuck that llama. And it's great because he's just resting on her, and her face is and his face is and he's just slowly chewing on something. It's really great. He looks just like a llama. It's a llama. But yeah, there's also a pig in her face, and she looks up and for a moment stares longingly at this this sign that says something like get a new job or something like that. Find a great new job, that kind of thing. She gets to work only to realize, oh, God help us, she's wearing what she calls her crappy sandals. They are Crocs.
They are Crocs.
She ran out and put on her Crocs as she did so. So she decides, all right, that's really embarrassing, but all I got to do is get upstairs, and my work shoes are in my locker, and if anyone looks at me, I'll just do this weird arm dance. And she's a big crowd by the elevator. She's sneaking behind columns, and she is found by Tsunoda, who is a doe-eyed doe, or maybe a fawn. Well, she's a doe-eyed doe. She's got giant eyes. She's adorable. She's as tall as Aggretsuko. A lot of the characters in this are her height. They're compared to most other characters, they're maybe waist high.
Yeah.
They're very tiny animals, but there's a lot of characters who show up who are obviously much taller because they're waist high to them, whatever. But Tsunoda makes some small talk, and Aggretsuko's doing her goofy wavy arm dance, trying to distract her, and Tsunoda
and her eyes wimp, wimp.
Yeah, her eyes down. Just slowly ratchet down as she's talking about, thanks for what she says is thanks for putting together the there's a staff party or something on Friday, everyone's gonna go out and drink, and she what she ends up saying after she looks all the way down and sees those goofy shoes is if I try to do that, I could never do something like that. If I want to live up to your example, and then she sees the shoes, I'd have some really big shoes to fill. And then Aggretsuko just flips her shit because she's oh God, she noticed. It's fucking adorable. And Aggretsuko tries to explain why she's wearing these, I ran out too fast or something. But Tsunoda's already on the elevator, and she does the most adorable little chuckle as the door closes. It's freaking great. But anyway, Retsuko finally gets upstairs and she changes, she gets in her work clothes and her work shoes, and she is bombarded by this freaking motor mouth hippo. We later learned his name, Kabi.
Mm-hmm. I know this character.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I sure do.
Is that character a good for nothing?
The character is a good for nothing.
The person they're based off of?
They are my good buddy, but they are also a good for nothing.
Oh, no. But
these damn dogs out here are good for nothings too.
Yeah, they're pretty loud. They're probably not picking up on the mic.
They're borking. Yeah, they're probably picking up a little bit. If you guys can hear them dogs borking in the middle of the night, it's 10:13 here.
Oh, you're fine. But yeah, this big old hippo is just going on and on about celebrity gossip and, oh, look at the picture of my nephew, and Retsuko's just like, please.
Yeah, she's like, tell me he's adorable, something like that. And like,
don't make me say it. It's really great. But yeah, she then like goes over and like she's finishing changing. She wasn't finished changing before. She had just walked in when the hippo bomb just ran up on her. But she talks to my favorite character in the show, Finnico, as they both change. And Finnico is freaking great. She's a little gray Finnick Fox, and she's adorable, and she has the most monotone voice, and she just talks like this the whole time. She's really, if any of you have watched what's the damn thing called, Parks and Rec, she's definitely the April Ludgate. She's the Aubrey Plaza of this show. Bloody blah blah. This is how I talk. Like, she's very monotone, and we find out very, very calculating. Retsuko mentions running into Sonoda, and Finnico says, "Man, I really hate that girl." And she says she also watches her every move on social media to try and get ammunition on her. And she says, check this out. Selfie. Wait, what was it? It was selfie. Shit, I forgot what the second thing was. But she has a pattern. It's like selfie, other picture, latte art, like over and over and over again.
What was the other thing?
The thigh pic was like the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Selfie, something, latte art. Selfie, something, latte art. I don't remember. The shit's hilarious, though.
It might have been like a food. I think it was a food or something.
It was probably like dinner or something.
Or no, it was a little green bottle.
No, that was a water bottle. That was later.
Okay.
No. I think it was food. Something. But she has a pattern that she goes through, and she always ends up throwing down a thigh pic every 13 days. But this time, her thigh pic was 3 days early. She assumes she's probably trying to pick up some dude at the office party and blah, blah, blah. And she's very calculating and very, very, very attention-oriented. And she's fucking terrifying, and I love her. So they're going along. However, despite saying that she hates Sonoda, in the hallway, she is super duper chummy with her. Like, they're just sitting there, like, and Sonoda's like, "Oh yeah, I got my nails done. Oh, who's your guy? You got to give me the number." Blah blah blah. Like, it's really great. So it's like, yeah, she's totally two-faced. It's amazing. I love her. Retsuko gets to her desk. Her boss, their boss, Mr. Tone, shows up. Mr. Tone is a very large pig, and he's very angry. He just looks angry, and he is pissed off because his desk is not set up the way he likes it. His flower vase is empty. His humidifier has no water. Like, everything's just wrong. And it turns out on Monday, it's Retsuko's turn to set everything up, and she just straight up forgot. So she ends up like scrambling, gets it done, everything set up. And then as she's walking away, he says, "Tea." And she's like, "What?" "I'm going to need some hot tea." This guy's a real jackass.
I know that guy.
He's the worst. But see, this is the thing about this show. Even though he sucks, he has a fucking place in this. Like, you're going to find that out in these later episodes. He's fucking great. Like, everybody in this show is amazing. This is a thing about this show I love. Despite it being so like kitty and cartoony and like goofy looking, it is like everyone in this show is so well written. Like, they are very well done, and they all have a fucking role and a part. And yeah, you can't really you can think, oh man, I hate this person, and yet they're still gonna do something that, even if it doesn't completely, is gonna almost win you over. It's really good. But I'm getting ahead of myself. But this dude is an asshole despite all that. And he says, "I'm going to need some hot tea because it's woman's work." And she, like, she's getting all shaky, and the music is like it's building up, and like she's just about to lose her shit, and then she just clink. There's your tea, sir. And he drinks it, and he hates it. It's more water than tea. It's basically hot water. And he said,
"There's no tea in this tea."
Yeah, there's no tea in this tea, he says. And his little meerkat lackey, who I think is named Komiya, says, "Make it again." And he's like, "Nah, forget it. Incompetent women sure are a pain in the ass, but they're better than the competent ones." And they all just laugh, and Retsuko's just like, oh my fucking god. And Retsuko, we finally get to see her go into one of her rages, and she has a short little music video where she talks about how he's a fucking chauvinist pig. He's literally a chauvinist pig, and she calls him shitty boss like over and over again. It's so fucking good. So she gets back in the bathroom. She's raging out. So like she finishes. She's just got to get those feelings out. She does so with her microphone, and then she's done. She goes, "Okay," and she's like back to normal, and she goes back out to the office. Fineko tells her that she needs to toughen up. She needs to Hey Roger, what's a good way to tell someone they need to toughen up? They need to maybe grow some balls.
I'm channeling it in.
Oh wait, I feel it coming.
Sack up.
Oh, the worst. I'm glad I could get that out of you though. That was a good one. All right, but yeah, Fineko tells her she needs to toughen up, and if he had said that to me, I'd tell him where he could put that tea. And she's like, whatever. And she says, well, can he get fired for acting like that? Which is when a character shows up doing a pretty good impression of him. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I never meant to make Retsuko feel that way. And it's Haida. He's doing his tone impression, which he actually does a couple times throughout their show. It's pretty great. But he shows up. He's again like twice as tall as as Retsuko and Fineko, and he is a hyena boy, and he's fucking adorable. Love Haida. He's great. But he shows up, and he's just trying to tell, like, he tries to explain that, like, hey, work ain't hard. Work's not easy on us either. I know it's hard for you ladies, and he's like being a typical dude. Mm-hmm. And he says, those of us who don't feel like kissing up, and Finnego's like, you kiss up constantly. Yeah, well, he's really great. But at this point, we see Tsunoda is actually in the office following Tone around, asking about golf, really just buttering this dude up, speaking of kiss-ups. And the three of them just like can't stand to be in the room with this sickening display, and they end up going on break. So in the hallway, as they're going to break, they run into, or they don't run into, they just see them walking, Gori and Miss Washimi. Gori, who is a marketing director and a gorilla lady, and Washimi, who is the president's personal secretary, who don't take shit from no one, and is in fact a secretary bird. Ha! So good. And they are both like tall, they're beautiful, they're doing this click, clack, clack, just like
they're doing the badass walk.
They call it the baddest bitch in the room walk.
Oh yeah, that's
it's so goddamn good.
I love them.
But everybody's just like taking one look at these professional women, the kind of women who we heard Tone say earlier, and what they say now. The women like that would just destroy Tone because he couldn't take it. They're just so damn cool. And as they walk, they keep walking, they turn a corner, and then Gori says something about how her back hurts from doing this baddest bitch in the room walk. And that seems like just a throwaway line, but it ends up coming back later, which is pretty great. So then, back in the office, Tsunoda is talking to Tone still about golfing, and asks if he'll help with her workload, and he's like, well, of course I will, because she's buttering him up so much. And then later, when the gang comes back from break, Tone just immediately drops all that work right on top of Retsuko, and she ends up having to stay late while everyone else is already gone. And we get her little introduction here as she's making some tea in the office, and then later it finishes as she's on the street heading home. She says, my name is Retsuko. 25, single, Scorpio, blood type A. All right. And she talks about how she's just basically a task worker at this she works in the accounting department with everyone else, but she pretty much just doesn't have anything else going. She's a real, like the typical beleaguered office girl. but she says that she has a secret, and we see her go into a karaoke bar on the way home, and she gets a room for one, and she is just raging in this freaking room, screaming and screaming. And this one she says over and over again, "Choke on my rage," over and over. And man, oh man, it's just fucking great, because this is just how she like gets her shit out. It's really good. And as she's like screaming and going nuts, the door opens and it's like the waiter, and he's like, "Here's that food you order," and she says, "Put it on the table." And then the episode ends. Now I will point out, and this is the thing I told you, I don't know, there's a lot of lines in here that are different in the subtitle, in the sub than the dub, which I thought this one was pretty. I mean, I guess I don't know why they changed this one, but neither of them makes a whole lot of sense. But in the subtitle, she actually just says, "I didn't order anything." Like, fuck off, dude.
Yeah.
But she takes it anyway, I guess. So that's episode 1. It's a good little intro to all these characters.
I liked it.
These first like 2 or 3 are really just introducing these characters and whatnot. But man, oh man, shit gets really good. I really love this show. So, episode 2.
Episode 2. We got a good, hardworking girl.
Aw. So this one starts with Retsuko shopping at the mall at a store called Alp, and this goddamn sheep. Okay. Do you know this sheep? Do you know someone who is this sheep?
Yes, I do. But so this is one of the moments where I really couldn't identify Retsuko, what she was doing, but I know somebody that I could identify to.
Oh no.
Somebody who gets suckered into crap like that so easily.
Oh no.
It's my girlfriend.
Oh no. Not my good buddy cat. So she's shopping at this place, and this freaking sheep just keeps following her around everywhere. Like, she's apparently the only person in the store, and the sheep is just telling her, "Oh, we might have."
But yes, I do know that sheep, and he is a good for nothing.
Oh no.
And he is our good buddy, and I do believe you went to school with him.
Oh no. All right, we'll have to talk about this afterwards.
Okay.
But oh no. All right. Damn, I just saw that fool. Yeah, he just mouthed a name to me, and I'm like, oh shit, I just saw that fool last night. All right, so
he stays on people's sacks. Like, all up on them, like, dude, they want you to go,
which
man.
is exactly what this sheep is doing.
Yep.
She is following around like, "Oh, if we don't have that in your size, I could check at the back." And she says, "Okay, that's fine." And she's like, "Okay, no pressure, take your time. No pressure, take your time. No pressure, take your time." Just over and over again, following her everywhere. She can't even shop in peace. And just constantly pestering Retsuko.
It's like going into Best Buy.
Yeah, and Retsuko ends up finally turning around and like raging for a second, which is when it goes into the credits. That's how they always do these.
Oh, I love the little opening too. Whenever they go into the and her head is like bobbling. But they get the jiggly thing really well.
Like, yeah, that is how you say it. It's jiggly.
Yeah.
Fucking worst. All right, but yeah, she rages out. She ends up, after the opening credits, she's checking out with 3 pairs of socks, which total 1,080 yen. The pushy sales lady almost gets her signed up for a points card, almost, but she is saved by Puko, who appears to be some kind of panther or mountain lion. I don't know. Some kind of kitty cat.
She's some sort of kitty.
Some kind of kitty cat, who apparently is an old friend of hers. Like, literally, as she's about to sign up for this thing that she does not want to, Puko, this hand just comes out of nowhere and grabs the bag and says, "Nah, that's okay. We're going to leave now. And come on." And she just walks away, and Retsuko's like, "Holy shit, Puko." And she follows her out, and we pretty much just get a very quick backstory for Puko. Puko says that she works for about 6 months and then bounces around the world just until she needs money again, and then she comes back and works for another 6 months. It's a pretty cool way to live if you can swing it. I mean, it's good work if you can get it. And it's pretty neat. She's a real like, I don't know how to describe it. Not a flaky person, but she definitely values her freedom, and she makes the most of it. Do you know this person, Roger?
Oh, I bet I do.
Okay, well, let's not spend too long just bringing up your history.
She's more of she's kind of like a gypsy. Just a traveler making money
Well, gypsy can be seen as a slur, so that's not
Okay. Well, I didn't know that.
No, you didn't. It's okay.
So
all right.
I'm not gonna beep that out, but just guys know that I just learned something.
All right. But yeah, they talk about work for a bit and whatnot, and Puko says to her, "Yeah, I mean, you always seem so responsible." And Retsuko's like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah, I bet you don't agree."
Nomadic.
Nomadic. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Sure. She's a nomad. She's a real.
Surely that word
Nomad.
can't be something bad.
I mean, maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe one day.
But
things can be tainted.
She says, you're so responsible. Really? She says, yeah, I bet you don't even agree to the terms and conditions on something until you've read them all. She's like, no. Well, I bet you're saving for when you're older. I wish. And she goes, all right, double or nothing. I bet you buy socks just so you don't feel bad for leaving a store without making a purchase. You got me. And she pulls the socks out of her bag that she just bought. And Puko asks her a question that is honestly, when she asked it, I was like, oh shit, because it made me think about my stuff. And she says, let me ask you, do you actually like your life? You seem pretty wiped out, because like she looks so tired.
Mm-hmm.
Next morning, same train, same job sign, and at work, her superior, who we don't find out until later, but who is named Tsubone, who is a monitor lizard, which is fucking great. She's like Retsuko's immediate supervisor, and then up the ladder would be Mr. Tone, who's the friggin' the big old pig. But she dumps a lot of extra work on her, and then
she's that person that's always trying to get out of their job by making you do their job.
Yeah, and
I know that person.
Do you?
Yeah.
I got a guess. Don't tell me now, but she dumps all this extra work on her and then ends up guilting her into doing it by calling her trustworthy, and tells her that she goes into this brief sob story about how she's the lizard lady, the supervisor. She goes into this brief sob story about how she's, getting older and frailer, so she has to make sure she runs and works out and gets stronger, which is exactly why you need to do all this extra work. The more you do it, the stronger you'll get. And she like has this horrible like evil laugh she does. But yeah, the more work she does, the stronger she gets. So then Tone and his meerkat lackey, who again I believe was, what was his name, Komiya?
Yeah, Komiya.
Yeah, they talk about him later. I mean, you don't get a lot of these names at first, but I'm saying them anyway. But those two start talking about this golf trip. Komiya shows him check out this sweet resort. They even have a hot spring on the property, and blah blah blah. And they're both just standing there with golf clubs, swinging them in the middle of the room, saying, "We deserve a vacation. We deserve a vacation. Yeah, we deserve a vacation."
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And Retsuko goes into a rages. I will say this. I like the that's cool. Like we deserve a vacation. The subtitle says, "Man, are we busy?" Which I think is even funnier because you are in fact standing in the middle of a room while everyone else is working, saying, "Man, I sure am busy. Man, I sure am busy." Yeah, I like that one. But Retsuko goes into a rage, and she's calling down lightning, grant me your vengeance, strike them down. Like she's literally imagining all these people getting struck by lightning.
Yeah. It's
pretty goddamn great. So the trio is on break. Fineko, Retsuko, and Haida. They're all on break, and Fineko tells Retsuko, "Man, you look like a grandma," and she does. She looks like beat up. She's clearly not been getting enough sleep and doing way too much work. Haida says he can't believe that she actually managed to finish all that extra work, and at one point, one of them says, "Whoa, responsible." And she's like, "Oh, that's exactly what my friend Puko said." And they end up asking the exact same questions that she did, and they do the oh wow. So Fineko says, "So I bet you don't even accept the terms and conditions until you read them all." That's what she said too. And then Heidi's like, "I bet you're saving for when you're older." Well, she said that too. And then they both at once say, "Double or nothing. I bet you buy socks just so you don't feel bad about leaving without making a purchase." And she's like, "You're starting to freak me out." It's really great. But yeah, she's totally freaked by all that because she's realizing, man, I really am just a freaking open book and everybody knows what this is. Fineko tells Retsuko that she's basically a robot and that the bosses can smell her con from a mile away, and they're dumping all this extra work on her because they know that she's not going to fight them back or anything, and she's just going to do it. She actually, I think she tells her she's like the patron saint for sweatshops, which is pretty fucked up. But damn, I mean, if that shoe fits, lace that bitch up. Retsuko rages out again, and as she does, like even as she's doing so, she's like, it's like her sitting at her desk, like typing and doing all this work, as she's raging out, and she says, the line she says over and over again is team players lose, which is really fucked up, but shit, dude. As she's leaving, Retsuko sees those professional women again, Gori and Washimi. And as she passes them, and as they walk a bit further, Gori says, "Oh, I'm really lucky me." And Washimi says, "What's that?" And she says, "Well, my horoscope said yellow is my lucky color. I was hoping we'd run into that girl because she's kind of a light orange and orangish yellow. Super cute.
She's a little red panda.
The show's adorable, man. I love it. Mm-hmm. But at this point, as she's leaving, Retsuko gets a text from Puko, who wants to meet up. And they're at a restaurant, and they eat, and they get wasted. And Retsuko's, like, actually super drunk. Like, she's, like, sad crying about her job and shit. And she says, you know, when I go out with the office, I have to pour for my boss. And he gets all pissed off when she doesn't pour with the label up.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of shit. Like, man, what a fucking stickler. Were you raised in a barn? You're a dick. And then she makes a joke about him living in her wall because the socket plug looks like his dumb pig nose. It's really cute. And Puko says, "Well, you know, I'm actually thinking of starting up a business, imports. We're gonna have a little, you know, start a business. Me and a friend of mine." And Retsuko is instantly like so into it. She's like got the sparkle eyes and everything. And Puko actually offers her a job, and Retsuko is hesitant but very excited. And then it cuts to like the next morning. She's in the office with a towel, like flicking it like so. Yeah. Like doing this throwing motion with it.
She's super pumped about opening an import store.
Mm-hmm. And she's imagining, you find out as like Tone comes in and sees her doing this. He's like, "What's that all about?" She's like, "Oh, just cleaning up." And she like wipes down a desk real quick. He's like, "Well, if you're so keen on cleaning, maybe you should shine up my golf clubs." And she's like, "Yeah, whatever." And she just does it because she's so fucking happy. And she's imagining when she like flicks this towel that she's actually like hucking her letter of resignation right into Tone's stupid face. She says, "I'm gonna quit the crap out of this job," and she's like so psyched to get out of this shitty job that she hates. And that's the end of the episode. And we're on to
it was super fun.
Episode 3.
Episode 3 is Short Timer.
Yeah, this one's fun. So Short Timer is actually so at the end of this one, Tone gives Retsuko a nickname. In the dub, it's Short Timer. In the subtitle, it's Short Timer, he calls her. In the dub, he calls her something else, which we'll get to right now. So this one starts with some, like, I don't know, he's like an alpaca or something, and he's doing like on the street interviews for some TV show in Shibuya.
Oh, it's so great.
Yeah, this one's really good. And he says, "The topic of today is annoying bosses. Hey, excuse me, ma'am, don't you have an annoying boss?" And of course it's Retsuko. You can tell her face is blurred, but you can tell it's Retsuko. And she says, "Oh yeah, I do have an annoying boss." And like she voices a few complaints, and the guy's like, "Wow, sounds like you really don't like this guy." "Yeah, he's the worst, and he gives me all this extra work, and he's such a jerk." "Wow, all right, well, back to you." And she just pulls the microphone back. "Yeah, and everybody and blah blah blah, and it's so like complaining about it." And finally the guy's like, "Wow, sounds like you really really have a problem." And she just snatches the microphone from him. And he just stops talking.
Yeah.
And she just, and she screams, "I hope your ears are burning. Like, I hope you know I'm talking about you, asshole." And she just rages out in the credits roll. It's fucking great. These little cold opens are so good. Yeah. I really enjoy them.
I love it.
So, we cut ahead. Retsuko's at work, and she's daydreaming about Puko's job offer. So much, she's so happy, she actually happy faints onto the copy machine that she's making copies on. And several little happy copies of her face pop out of it. And up comes that hippo gal, Kabi, who sees this and says, "Oh, why are you so happy?" And she ends up like freaking Retsuko doesn't want to tell her like why she's happy because she's probably going to quit her job. She doesn't want that word getting around. And Kabi's a huge motor mouth, as we've seen. But Kabi just kind of like, her eyes glow green and she does this weird little, and she like reads her mind basically. She just knows instantly. The woman knows what's up. She says, I see it. That darkness in your eyes. That smile means an end to the darkness. It means freedom. And she's like, oh shit. And like, Rumor Queen got to throw her off the scent. And so Retsuko says, well, okay, I'll tell you. You're right. I couldn't poop for 5 days. I was real constipated.
Yeah, but she says she pooped today.
And this morning, and she says, you finally got down to business? Yeah. And Kabe's like, I knew it. And she's like so happy that she like knew that she was happy about something. And she like runs off. The very next scene is Retsuko like washing her hands in the bathroom. And Fineko walks in and goes, oh, hey, Retsuko. I heard you managed to poop. Great job.
Yeah.
Immediately everyone knows about it. That's like one of the best scenes because fucking Fineko's amazing. And she's just like, heard you can poop again. Way to go. It's so fucking good. But yeah, rumors are already spreading.
I know that damn hippo character.
Yeah.
I know that character.
Oh, don't we all? But yeah, rumors are already spreading. Fineko says, she also saw her on that interview show. And Retsuko's like, what? I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, the on the street interviews. Nah, that wasn't me. I haven't even been to Shibuya. I didn't say it was in Shibuya. Like, oh, you done fucked up. Now you fucked up. She did in fact fuck up. But Fineko doesn't press her too much further on it. Meanwhile, outside, Tone has found one of Retsuko's happy face copies, and he's like, looking all mad. So next scene, Retsuko and Fineko are at their desk typing away right next to each other, you know, doing their work. And we see someone running through the hall, and it's Haida, and he runs over to Retsuko, and he's so distraught, and he's like, Retsuko, is it true? You gave birth yesterday? And she's like, what? Yeah. And this is my favorite scene because in the background, Fineko's just going ha 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 ha, like laughing her ass off because she knows, no, she didn't give birth. She took a big dump apparently, and he's just flipping his shit. He's like so freaked out by this, and she's like, what? No, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah, I heard the delivery was really tough, and Fineko's just laughing even harder. And Retsuko's like, no, nothing so serious. Did I even look pregnant? And he's like, oh, okay. What was that about? And she like she can't answer. She just has this like crazy like red embarrassed face. And Fineko's just like, like still laughing her ass off in the background. It's so fucking good. God damn it, I love Fineko. But eventually, that whole situation calms down, and Tsubone, the monitor lizard, comes by and confronts Retsuko about her work, which is full of mistakes. Here. Look at all these mistakes. I don't even know what you're doing. And then she pulls out one of those copies that Retsuko had made, albeit accidentally, of her face, and says, oh, but Retsuko has time to play around. What she should be, she says, copying her face like a child and getting paid to do it. And she takes the copy and like tapes it onto Retsuko's face, and Retsuko is pissed. Like she is about to snap finally, and she says, she in her mind she's thinking, it wasn't even my work to begin with. Why am I being treated so unfairly? And finally she just says, when Tsubone asked her if she has anything to say for herself, from under, this is so fucking good because from she's got the happy face taped on her, like over her face, so from under that mask of a smile you just hear, well, maybe you should have done your own job and checked the ledger yourself. And like Tsubone is freaked. She's like, have you lost your mind? Like she's never talked back to a superior before like this. Yeah. And meanwhile Fineko is like in the background going, oh shit. Like it's so fucking good. And then we cut ahead and
I definitely know that character. But I also know that character as a superior and somebody that's on the same level of me.
Oh yeah.
He's always trying to get out of some shit because
get out
they
of shit
didn't want to learn it.
Yeah. That's how that goes, man.
I know them.
That's the thing. I think we all know somebody like that, and that just, you know, talks to how well they're written, that you can identify with them so quickly. It's really good stuff, man. But yeah, we cut ahead to Retsuko at the karaoke bar later, in her own private room, screaming, "I am triumphant this time!" Like she's so happy she managed to like actually swing back basically. So later at dinner with Puko, she asks about that shop again, and she's like, "Oh, where were you thinking about setting up a shop?" And Puko's like, and she's like, "Oh, let me guess." And she like names a bunch of places. No, not there either, not there. She's like, "Well, I don't get it. Then where?" And Puko says, "Well, there won't be a shop. It's gonna be like a website, not a real store." And she talks about how, she's basically talking about just selling shit on eBay.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, dude, that's not business. And she's like, "Well, if I work for you, how?"
Not anymore, man. It's hard to make money on eBay.
Yeah.
There's so many damn fees.
Well,
and shipping from like USPS and stuff all went up in price.
This fucking guy.
It's hard to be
this
on eBay,
fucking guy. But yeah, she says, yeah, but pay would be pretty thin at first and blah, blah, blah. And Retsuko's like, "Well, then how am I supposed to pay my rent?" She says, "I don't know, move back in with your folks, right?" Damn.
Hell no.
But yeah, rough stuff. So the next day at work, she is again passed out on the copier machine, but this time with a very, very sad face, and just a freaking wonky face. And Kabi rolls up and sees these sad faces printing out of the machine and says, "Oh, what's wrong? You pooped." And Retsuko's like, "Some things even a good poop can't fix," which is pretty great. In the hall, Tsunoda asks comes up to Retsuko and says, "Hey, is it true that you're leaving the company right away?" And she's like, "What? Where did you hear that?" "Oh, I heard it from Kabe, blah, blah, blah." And Retsuko flips her shit and takes off running. Just zoom, takes off and runs through the hallway, runs right past the two professional ladies, Gori and Washimi, and nearly knocks over Gori, who like does a sweet spin, and then just like
a ballerina spin.
She does like a sweet ballerina spin, and then ping, stops like exactly where she was and just immediately starts walking again. And Washimi sees this and she goes, "Man, yoga's really paying off." Which again, it's all gonna pay off. Mm-hmm. See, her back hurts, so then she went to yoga, and now in the next episode we see yoga. It's great. But yeah, Retsuko is in the break room with Kabe and is just crying and asking Kabe why she's spreading rumors about her. Kabe says, "Well, I gotta admit, everybody like comes to me for gossip and whatnot, but I would never spread a rumor that would hurt you." She's like, "Well, then why did you tell Tsunoda that?" And she's like, "Well, I had heard about it, and I told Tsunoda because I thought you were good friends." And she's like, "Not really. I actually think she's kind of fake." Accurate, it seems, so far.
Which probably isn't the best idea to tell that person, too.
Well,
Tell the damn hippo.
Well, she just said that she wouldn't go spreading rumors if it were going to actually hurt someone and whatnot. So maybe she would, know to keep that one to herself. Certainly seems that way. But she says that she heard it from Komiya, that she was leaving the company. She's like, "Well, why would Komiya say that?" And right then, that little weasel of a meerkat shows up. And he has the best fucking design, because like not only does he just look like a fucking weasel, well, of course he does, he's a meerkat, they look like weasels, but if you're gonna draw one anthropomorphically anyway, but when he talks, his mouth is just this huge triangle, like ha ha ha, like it's so fucking good. Oh man. But he shows up and says, "Mr. Tone would like to see you," and she takes him off to see the boss, Mr. Tone. Not the boss, the boss of their department, obviously. And he's got his abacus out, and he's calculating. And he says, "You damn kids these days with your computers. We always used to just use the abacus." And he's real quick on it, man. He is doing the shit right. And he says, "I'm calculating right now. Calculating how much we've invested in you, Retsuko." Like, he is literally gonna give her value. And according to him, it ain't much. Meanwhile, in her head, she's calculating her own values of her dreams. We find out that night with Puko, she had actually told her, "No, I can't work for you." And Puko says, "Hey, don't be so down about it." And even though Retsuko's very sad looking, obviously, she says, and she goes on to like thank Retsuko for being the responsible person she is. She says the only reason that she's able to be so, to travel around and be so laissez-faire about stuff is because of people like Retsuko who keep the rest of the world moving. Like, if it weren't for that, she wouldn't be able to do anything. So thanks. Like, it's fine that you don't want to work for me. you got to be responsible. That's who you are. And Retsuko kind of accepts that. And, you know, it seems like she was like really bummed out a bit about being called responsible, about being like the responsible one. She wanted to have fun, but she accepts that, like, you know, somebody's got to do the shit. And it's pretty good. But back in the present, Tone is done calculating, and he's like, and just knocks his, shakes up his abacus once he's done. And Komi, as he's talking to her, Komiya pops up over his shoulder and starts listing off all of this browser history that Retsuko's been going to. It's a lot of sites about being dissatisfied with your work and finding new jobs, and my boss is such a jerk kind of stuff. And Tone iterates to her and tells her that she's on thin ice and he's not going to take, and she needs to really watch herself. And he says, I've got a new name for you. I'm going to start calling you Calendar because your days are numbered, which is pretty fucking badass. Yeah. I like that. I like that pretty good.
You going to use that?
Maybe. I heard a thing. I was at work earlier, and this old guy came in, and we talked for a little bit. And he said something that was so funny to me. I'm like, I gotta use that. He was talking about like working on this like blueprint or something. Like he's an electrician, and they were looking at this plan, and the guy was saying, no, we got to do this or it won't work. And he's saying, no, we just do it this way. And the other guy's like, no, like this. I just got to do it like this, and I just need this thing to do this. And he's like, and finally the dude says to him, look, man, I can draw an outhouse on this paper, but you can't shit in it. Which is fucking hilarious. It's pretty good.
That is good.
It's pretty good. I've got to remember that one. But it's pretty great. But yeah, Tone calls her Calendar because her days are numbered, which is pretty rough. And then the ending is Retsuko raging out like with tears because she's screaming, but she's sad, and she says, "Game over, man, game over."
Yep,
I thought that was a pretty good little.
That's a reference from Aliens, and also Two Dudes One Couch.
That's what you say at the end of your episode,
Yep,
right?
that's what we sign off with is game over, man.
Game over. It's pretty good.
It is good. I loved it.
All right.
You know I loved it.
I do love it, and I know you loved it. All right. That's episode 3. These are pretty short. Let's hit episode 4.
Episode 4, Walking Down the Aisle.
This was pretty good. A lot of stuff happened in this episode. I took probably way too many notes, but here we go. Retsuko attends a friend's wedding, a cat and mouse. They are adorable. They're looking at the little picture of them. They look so damn cute. It's a cat and a mouse. They're friends of the bride, who is the cat, and they are bringing them some presents. They go to sign in, her and her friend, who is a skunk, who we don't ever properly get the skunk's name. But at the end of this episode, she gets a phone call from her, and the skunk says, hey, Retsuko, it's Sue. Which I don't know if that's like Sue like Susan or Sue like, I don't know, like a Japanese name, which everyone else has, which would make sense. But yeah, something like that. I'm going to call her Sue, the little skunk girl. Anyway, they check in. She hands over her gift to the receptionist, which is 30,000 yen in an envelope, which if you do the conversion is like just under 300 right now.
It is
like 270 something.
273.9, so $273.90.
Call it 300.
Yeah.
Call it 300, but which is not.
They keep saying 30 grand and stuff in here too. Like,
well, I mean, you know, fucking prices of shit over there. Who knows? But yeah, it's not even 300. That's not a small amount of money. I ain't giving none of my friends $300 fucking dollars on their wedding. Are you kidding me? You might get a bill. You might get a C note. You might get 100.
One yen equals
0.00009, something like that.
0.0091 of the United States dollar.
You know, hey man, I don't friggin' numbers. Anyway, but she goes to hand it over, and she keeps her hand on it. She does not want to let it go, saying in her head she really, really doesn't actually want to give away her hard-earned money. And eventually she just rages out, and we assume she ends up giving it to her because she talks about losing that money later. But yeah, she rages out. Opening credits, and
get your hands off my money.
Get your hands off my damn money. Like, it's really good. God, like the screaming, the voice in this, like when she's actually screaming. They do really like good.
the highs. It's always highs.
Yeah, it's really good. I can't do that. My throat hurts already. But yeah, at work, Retsuko regrets giving away so much money. Kabi, she's talking to Kabi and Fineko about it, and Fineko says, "Oh, I never give more than 200 at those kind of things, no matter what." And Kabi's like, "No, you can't give out an even amount. That's easy to split. That's you're gonna then they'll split up and they'll just split the money. You're gonna put that bad split up juju on them." It's like, okay, weird, but I get it. They talk for a bit about the price of these weddings and stuff, and Fineko makes a comment that the bridal industry is just a big scam, etc., etc. In the office, Retsuko, after being chewed out and, let's just say essentially threatened by Tone, is on full robot mode. She has taken all these piles of work. She actually is drawn as a robot with little LED eyes, and she's just like, yes, sir, yes, sir. It's freaking adorable. But yeah, she is all full robot, taking all these piles of work. Yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Subone even comes over to her and tells her to shake like a dog, and she does it. Like, it's rough stuff, man. And she gets over to her desk, and Fineko's like, tries to talk to her about something, and she just doesn't even look at her. She says, what does she say? Workplace chat is not permitted, or something like that.
Yeah, she's doing the robot thing.
She is like full on robot. And then like the screen fades black, and they're on break. And Retsuko, you see Retsuko like taking a big swig out of this bottle of water, and as she takes the last gulp, her LED eyes go ping, and she's back to normal for a second. And then she just collapses on the table crying, and Haida and Fineko are like, "Oh, thank God she's back to normal." But they do still poke fun at her. Like, they're obviously concerned, but they do have a little fun. Haida does his Tone impression again, and he's like, "Retsuko, get this crap done." And then Fineko turns into a robot and is like, "Yes, sir." Like, it's really cute. But and then Haida says, "Hey, what happened to you? Just last week you went after Subone with both barrels. Like, what's up? Like, where's that fire, girl?" And Retsuko just doesn't even answer. She just gets out of her chair, picks up her food, and sulks away. And Haida's like, "Oh man, what'd I do?" Like, it's pretty obvious that like this dude like has kind of a crush on her. Mm-hmm. And man, he's trying to be a cool friend, but yeah, he's kind of a weenie. He's one of those real good guys.
Yeah.
Girls want a good guy. Well, here's the thing, and I'll just say this one now because you're gonna see more of him later. But he like actually is a good guy, which I really, really love his character, particularly what you see of him in the later episodes. I really love this guy. Haida's great. I will fight anybody who says he's not.
You know what they say, dudes? It's good guys, they finish last.
That was nice guys finish last.
Yeah, same damn thing though.
Yeah, that's not what you said though. No, you said.
That's what they mean.
You quoting Green Day songs over here? Get out of my face.
Is that a Green Day song?
Nice guys finish last. When you run out of gas, don't pat yourself on the back. You might break your spine.
I don't know too much Green Day.
I remember that one. That was from like Dookie, I think. I don't remember. It was an older one. It was pre-American Idiot. Yeah. Which is when it was okay to like them.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, he's fucking great. That's all that matters.
You love him.
I love Haida. Anyway, I done lost my place in my notes. So, she sulks away. She hides out in the archive room with her food, which is bread crusts and mayonnaise, and she is dipping her bread crust in the mayonnaise and eating them. It's very sad. It's very depressing. She says, "I can't let Fineko and Haida see me like this." You ever had bread and mayo? That's like the whole meal.
That's like, so I made that joke earlier.
Oh, no.
I can't remember. Oh, I was talking about bologna sandwiches.
Like, I can't stand mayo.
I said I grew up poor and in a trailer home. Now, that is the next level shit. That's what the people...
That's when you ain't even got the trailer.
Yeah, I knew...
That's when you're just living out the car.
I knew some kids that would eat
just
mayonnaise.
Had the mayo sandwich?
I liked mustard sandwiches.
I could do mustard.
To this day, I can eat a mustard.
Just bread and mustard, that's it?
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, you know what I want? Is a mustard sandwich. Classic. It tastes nostalgic. But if you throw some Doritos on it, it's extra good.
I walked into your house last week and saw you eating a sandwich that was literally just 2 pieces of bread, a slice of cheese, and a pickle slice.
Yeah.
That's not... I get it. I get it, man.
It was sharp cheese though, so
it was the good cheese.
Yeah, it was extra sharp
I think
cheddar.
it's the pickle slice for me. I can't do cheese and pickle.
I couldn't do pickles for almost most of my life, and randomly sometimes now I'll find phases where I randomly like something.
Yeah.
Like man, and sometimes I randomly dislike something. Like
I love peanut butter. Ugh.
I used to love spinach.
Yeah.
Like
Can't deal
just
with
fresh
no more?
spinach on sandwiches and pizzas and stuff like that.
Can't do it no more.
No, I can't.
Not at all?
Mushrooms too.
Not a spinach
hate
pizza
'em,
though.
dude.
A spinach pizza, you can't do spinach pizza.
I cannot stand it, dude.
That's crazy to me.
I try to pick all the pieces of spinach out.
Guess your taste buds are changing.
Yeah, it sucks. It's a bad time to be a vegetarian, you know.
But you gotta get that 6 cheese from freaking Domino's.
Yeah, that's
this episode sponsored by Domino's.
Yeah,
not really.
I don't like Domino's very much.
I since they like rebranded and like fixed their crust, it's pretty fucking good.
Did they fix their crust?
Yeah, they like redid the crust like maybe a year or two ago. It's like pretty fucking good. All those herbs and shit. This is not the Domino's fan cast.
Okay.
Next time we hang out, I'll order us one of them 6 cheeses and you can get down on that.
I'll try a 6
Tell me what you think. But anyway, but yeah, she's sulking alone, eating her bread and mayonnaise, which is just the saddest thing I've ever heard, I gotta say. I could probably do just mustard. I can't do mayonnaise.
Yeah, I could do bread crust and mustard.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to, but I could.
Anyway, her phone buzzes. It's the skunk friend, Sue, who is screaming on the phone, and she's so upset. And, you know, for a second, like before her phone buzzed, she actually says, it's kind of relaxing in here. And she gets this phone call, and her friend is just, wow, oh my God, did you hear? Oh my God, blah, 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 and just going nuts. And she says, what are you talking about? What's going on? And she says, they got divorced. Her friend, they fucking got divorced after they got married, like literally yesterday. Which is pretty fucking great.
That's not how divorce works, by the way.
No. I mean, you could just like just get married and then like, all right, bye. Like, yeah. Sounds like that's what happened. Apparently they had a fight. Still
married.
Yeah, they had a fight at the airport, and Retsuko says, well, I guess they were too different after all. And then she's like, wait a minute, my money. Like, she's so mad that she doesn't even have her money still, and they're not even still married, apparently. They definitely are. But yeah, she hangs up and she's like just pissed and whatever. And then she's like, in the hallway, meanwhile, Haida and Fineko are stopped by Tsubone, who is looking for Retsuko and wants her to open up this jar. I've got this jar that I need open. And the jar has a date on it, which is like 2017. It's like April 1st, 2017, which is pretty weird. Actually, hang on. Yeah, that is what it would be, because that's how you do the dates. It's like big to small, so year, month, date. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like, for some reason, she's got a jar that hasn't been opened since April Fool's Day last year that she wants Retsuko to open. Specifically, she's looking for Retsuko to get her to open it. And Haida's like, well, I mean, I could probably do it for you. He's like, oh no, I want to watch Retsuko struggle. Like, damn, you really are a fucking monster, huh? So Haida's worried about Retsuko. Fineko picks up on that and pokes fun at him and says, oh yeah. He's like, man, I hope she's doing okay. And Fineko's like, well, if she's even still alive. And Haida's like, what? And Fineko weaves a pretty dark story that maybe she got so upset and depressed that she just went up to the roof and took a little leap, which is pretty fucked up, quite frankly. Wasn't super into that, but she's just poking fun at Haida, and Haida's like blushing really hard because yeah, she's obviously picked up that he's like really worried about her and he cares about her so much. Back in the archives room though, Retsuko is still eating her mayo bread and the delicious mayo.
This has gone so far beyond how long the scene of her eating the mayo bread actually takes.
Yeah,
it's pretty great.
It's pretty great. Listen, man, this is a recap.
If you guys need us to spell out every little detail.
Not every little detail, but only the stuff I feel is important.
But like, also tell you about that Domino's crust changing over the last couple of years.
The shit's not bad.
You're in the right place.
It sure as hell beats the hell out of Papa John's. I'll say that right now. Fuck Papa John's.
You know, I don't care for Papa John's that much either.
Papa John's can eat this dick.
I like that pizza butt, dude.
You like the pizza butt?
Pizza butt, dude. Get the deep dish pizza butt.
Can we... Let's finish the thing and then talk about pizza. God damn it. But yeah, she's still eating her mayo bread. She imagines getting married herself, like so that then her friends have to pay her back. It's like, yeah, I'll get married, and then they'll have to pay me $30,000 each.
Genius.
It's a fucking great plan. It's a great reason to get married, Retzko. You're absolutely right. Then she like realizes what she just said, and she's like, wait, married and kids and a family, and I could just be a housewife and leave this fucking job. And that's her big plan now, is that she wants to get married so that she can leave her shitty job. And this is the thing about Retzko. This is the thing, is that this is one thing I love about this, is the whole time so far, she's the hero, obviously. She's the main character. She's the one you're supposed to identify with. Everyone else around her is so shitty. Her boss sucks. Her supervisor sucks. Even the girl who's like on her same level, who's her friend, is like kind of a fake asshole, Tsunoda. Like everyone sucks. But she, Retzko, she is justifiable in her anger, and she is understandable. It's understandable that she'd be so mad. And yet here she is making a horrible decision, saying, oh, that's a great reason to go ahead and get completely married, Retzko, is to leave your shitty job. Like, this is the thing with her. She, despite being the main character and so relatable, is often just very short-sighted and, in fact, selfish in the things that she does and the decisions she makes. As seen in this next scene, where she goes out. Well, first,
I think it seems like a pretty good idea.
Well, first she rages out and screams matrimonial freedom. Gori and Rashimi are walking through the office, the hallway, and they hear that scream, and they're like, and they just take off right as she comes out. But this is the thing. She's shown to be a little bit selfish from this next scene where she runs into Haida.
Yeah.
And she's all wide-eyed and sparkling as she walks. And
Haida gave a stupid answer.
She talks about how she doesn't even have a boyfriend yet, but she's down to get married just to leave work. And she runs into Haida, who is relieved she's alive, so that she is alive. And then Haida, she says to Haida, hey, if we got married, would you want me to work or stay home and you be the breadwinner? And Haida's like, clearly flustered by that. He's like, they're married to you? Like, he, twisting his collar and shit. And then he's like, well, I guess I'd want you to keep working. I mean, my salary isn't that great. And plus, we could, keep each other cheery, like on those hard mornings and whatnot. And then he looks down and realizes she's already gone.
Yeah.
Because all she got out of that, like, that was Haida actually bearing his soul a little bit. Like, that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah.
And like, he cares about, like, one, that he can't support her by himself. He's admitting that, but also that they would keep each other, happy at their shitty jobs.
Yeah, but that's also a bad idea too.
Well, yeah, these are all bad ideas, but it's what all she gets from that. The only thing she gets from that is like, well, then I just need to marry someone who makes more money.
Good idea.
Selfish. But
working with
yeah,
your significant.
you can't even talk. Are you okay, man?
Working with your significant other is a bad idea. It's a bad idea.
I mean, definitely dating someone you work with is, but I don't know. I mean, if you're married already,
Still a bad idea.
I don't know. It probably would suck.
You already have to see each other enough.
Well,
You need like that separation.
man, won't be something.
Yeah.
Maybe-
People think it's a good idea
maybe
to be together all the time,
Louisville.
and then you watch them interact with other people, and then things like jealousy.
You're
and shit
generalizing. You're generalizing.
Yeah,
I've definitely
it
seen.
happens.
I've definitely seen people who live together, work together, and have a very, very healthy relationship.
Sure.
Like, you're generalizing
Yeah.
right there.
Like that. Well, I mean,
But
I worked with my
this is
girlfriend, and I
beside
didn't
the-
have any problems with
This
it.
is all besides about. Oh no! Don't get me wrong. I have dated people I worked with, and it's never good.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's never good.
Yeah.
At first, it's fucking cool.
Yep.
But then it gets real shitty. But I mean, that's on me.
Yeah.
But
I will say it's never on me. I like to sit and not say anything and just do my job, and then we're gone.
yeah. Anyway, but yeah, she decides she needs to marry a guy who makes more money, obviously. So as she's leaving, she passes by and stops at this yoga studio, and the sign outside says, a desirable body can be yours. The subtitles actually specify that the translation is get a desirable body and reel them in, which is, what she's looking for, clearly. But she doesn't enter. She doesn't go in. She doesn't do anything. She goes on home. Next day, she's on break, and she's talking to Tsunoda, and Tsunoda says, working yoga, but you're already so adorable. Because of course she is. And she says, well, not working out or anything, just slimming down a little bit. And Tsunoda's like, wow, sounds like somebody's on the prowl. And every dude in the break room just goes, huh? And like just looks at her. And she's like, no, nothing like that. What makes you think I'm going after anybody? And Tsunoda's just like, well, you've been single for so long. And everybody's, huh? And just looks at her again. Which is pretty freaking great. And then Tsunoda goes on to say, no, I don't think so. You look good with a little bit of chub. Your arms are squishy like baby arms, and everybody loves a baby. They make them smile. Why would you want to take that away? And she says she has baby arms. It's like, Tsunoda, you're being a bitch.
That's one of the best things that I've heard.
You got them little squishy baby arms.
Baby arms, but also my favorite is lunch lady arms.
Oh no, come on.
So like, oh man, she got or jelly wing.
The worst. This is the worst.
Jelly wang.
I don't know. I get it. I've never heard that one, but I immediately get it, and I don't need to hear it again.
It's hilarious, dude.
All right. Anyway, Jelly Wang, you suck. But yeah, Retsuko afterwards is pretty upset. Like, she said I had baby arms. What a fucking jerk. Like, that kind of thing. And she ends up back at that yoga studio, and she thinks about going in, but she says no. And she starts to leave, and she bumps into this massive fucking kangaroo, who is my other favorite character in the show because he's great, and all he does is go, protein.
Yeah. Protein.
He's big on protein. He's very muscly. He's very large, and all he says is protein. And he's, like, so fucking good. He says one word, protein, over and over again. And she's like, no, I was just going to leave. She's like, protein? Well, I was thinking about yoga, not bodybuilding. He's like, oh, protein. And he just picks her up with one hand and just walks her in. And a few students are already there waiting, 4 or 5 of them, including Gori and Washimi, who are in the back of the room. And he sits her down in a chair and pushes a paper in front of her and says, protein. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll sign up. She signs the contract and gets on these classes. So next day at work, Haida goes to Retsuko and says, hey, I was talking to Fineko and thinking maybe we could go out for drinks, go get a beer after work. And she's like, nah, nope, I got plans, bye, and just closes her laptop and walks off. Just straight blows him off. Because again, a little bit selfish. Is spending time with your friends, including the dude who likes you, and maybe she knows that, maybe she doesn't. But she is so focused on slimming down a little bit so she can marry a rich guy and leave her job. Like, doesn't even want to find love. Just wants to marry a rich guy and leave her job. Yeah. That's good old Retsuko. But, yeah, she straight up blows him off and just says, I have plans. In that scene, as soon as she does and walks away, Fineko pops up just going, heh, which is really great. But at yoga, the instructor, the big kangaroo guy, is just doing constant push-ups. Protein. Meanwhile, one of the actual students, perhaps student, maybe a sub instructor or whatever, the lemur girl is guiding them through poses. They're doing, I think it was a pigeon pose was the one they do. Mm-hmm. Pretty great. But they're all stretching and doing stuff. And after class, during class, Retsuko has noticed that Gori and Rashimi are there, and she's freaked out, like, why are they even in here? And she puts it out of her mind and says, oh, they probably haven't even noticed me, but they definitely have noticed her, in fact. After class, she's sitting there, like, stressing about it, like, and she sees them looking at her, and she's like, oh god, they did notice me. Oh, it's way too late for me to just say hi. So awkward, blah, blah, blah. And she goes on this whole thing. And right as she's doing this, Gori is like tiptoeing over to her, which is like adorable because this is a very large gorilla person who's like on her tippy toes. And she gets over there right as Retsuko turns around and decides, okay, she'll try to introduce herself. And they just see each other like, what? And like it's the most awkward intro ever. They're both like, oh hey, you're from the office, right? Okay, well my name's. And like they both just can't do it. They just mirror each other almost perfectly, which is, again, pretty awesome because this is a character, one of these two women who you are from here previously, assume they have all their shit together. They never fuck up. They know what they're doing. They're perfect, basically. And then here's this one of them who just can't even talk to Retsuko as much as Retsuko can't talk to her. They are almost exactly the same in that respect. It's pretty great. Like, you get a lot of, like, despite being a flashy animated 2D cartoon, these characters are very three-dimensional. Anyway. Super awkward intros. They marry each other. Washimi eventually walks over and literally tags in for Gory and just walks up and says, introduces herself in Gory. And Retsuko's like, oh, yeah, I'm Retsuko. Nice to meet you. And, like, there you go. And then on the way home, like, that's the end of that scene. On the way home from yoga, she gets the call from her skunk friend who says, hey, it's Sue. And she tells him that the couple, their friends, got back together, like, that quickly. It's like literally been 3 days. Like, what is going on? Y'all got married, broke up, and then got back together in 3 days. This is gonna last. But and she feels better about giving away her money now. Like, that she's one, obviously they're together, but two, she actually has a plan. It's not a great plan, I think, but she has a plan and she knows what she wants to do. Which is pretty good. And that's episode 4.
Episode 4. It was a good one. I like this series a whole lot so far.
Yeah, I really like. I've already watched the whole thing. I was halfway through watching it again, so yeah, I really love this cartoon. It's so, like I was telling you before, despite being so kiddie and so, like, it looks like fucking, like, it's literally made by the same people who make Hello Kitty. Yeah, like the whole thing. It's like that's all they do is make cutesy shits. But despite looking so childish and cartoony, it really is just these adults in these adult situations dealing with adult shit. And it does so, because usually when you think adult cartoon, it's like fucking South Park.
Family Guy.
And Family Guy. And shit that's like not even adult cartoons. It's just cartoons being dumb and gross and silly and often just shitty for the sake of doing so. Whereas this one, like, is actually dealing with adult situations, and I really like it a lot. It's really cute. So cute. Super duper cute.
I like it. It's super fun.
This is going to be a short episode, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
We do have some questions, though.
We got questions. Give me them questions, Roger.
We got a solo coming
Roger,
first.
won't you give me them questions?
I feel like I need to get a more metal one in for this.
Jesus Christ!
You know, like those freaking sweeps going on.
It was pretty good. That was sexy. Damn.
All right, we got us 3 questions.
3 questions?
I know. We got one in the process of recording.
Did we really?
Yeah,
Holy
we
shit!
did.
Oh God! Who's it from?
It's from our good buddy Allie.
Oh, hey, Allie!
Let's go with hers first.
Yay! My good buddy Allie.
She wants, since we're watching Aggretsuko, she wants us to tell her our worst work stories.
Oh shit!
I read it ahead of time, so I had a little time to think. So I'll go ahead and tell mine while you go, because I had to think for a minute. I was like, okay, which ones are not appropriate?
Yeah.
Like, which ones would directly be calling somebody out? I was trying to find a good line of something that I was like, oh, I am not pleased about this. But, you know, I didn't mind. It's kind of a more funny story. Mm-hmm. That's what I went for. As opposed to a more depressing story. Mm-hmm. To where Roger lost a little bit of his sanity.
How about as a consolation, we do like worst work stories, and then we tell some good ones.
Yeah,
if you got a good one. Okay.
This one is good and bad. This one it's not really bad. It's just funny. To me, it's funny. And I worked at a bar. I did security at a bar, and my good buddies all came visit me all the time.
Yeah, we did.
And one time, a couple of good buddies were up there, and they were drinking heavily. And I did drive them home this night, thank God, because neither one of them could drive.
It wasn't me.
One of my good buddies was sitting in this chair next to me at the door.
Oh no!
And he's very, very intoxicated. He's staring blankly directly in front of him. I'm like, hey man, you gonna be okay? You gonna throw up? And he says, no. And I was like, I'll get you the trash can if you're going to throw up. And I'm going to do my best to keep saying good buddy over their names. I know they probably won't care having their names out there, but just to be safe. So I'm like, okay, man, if you're going to be all right. And so the other good buddy that's with him walks over, and we're talking about some wrestling, like we always do. And this is maybe 3 minutes later. He goes, "Hey man, your good buddy's throwing up." And my good buddy, he is like 3 feet away from me. We are separated by a little small table.
And he's just honking.
He is just honking all over the floor. He honks so damn much. And I'm like, "Oh, good buddy, let me get you outside. We're gonna clean." So I clean up his honk.
His honk.
I clean up his honk.
Clean up that honk.
And somebody else walks back inside. They're like, "Hey, your good buddy's honking on the sidewalk."
Oh God.
He honked everywhere, everywhere.
He was a honking machine.
Yeah, and I had to drive his ass home. But it was really funny.
Now,
and I don't think he remembers most of that.
I'm pretty sure I know this story. Was this a holiday when this happened?
Yes, I believe so. I didn't remember which holiday, so I
think it
didn't
might have
say
been
it.
New Year's.
It could have been.
Yeah.
It was. And like, you know, like whenever you throw up liquor, it is very potent.
The shit hurts.
Yeah. And
you
I was
can
like,
fucking smell it.
Man, this
That
is not
sucks, dude.
good.
That sucks. Yeah, full disclosure, I was not there for that one because your boy had to work the next morning, so he went to sleep early.
So that's one of my...
But I do know this story. I do know those people, those good buddies involved. And I keep hearing this and I keep laughing.
I will... This isn't so much a work story. This is me playing in a band. I did make money that night, so it's
a work story.
So it's one of our first shows with my band, Indians and Animals.
Oh boy.
And we're on stage and we're jamming out there, and we invited all of our good buddies. We had a lot of good buddies there. And they were packed into the place that I happened to work at. And in the middle of our set, there's like a big commotion going on. Like there's a fight breaking out or something. And we're like, "Oh crap, what's going on?" And then I hear somebody across the bar yelling, "He's pissing on the bar!" What? And there's this guy that definitely was invited by us to come see our band. No. And he got so damn drunk
that he just whipped it out.
He whipped his dick out and pissed on the bar. And my future girlfriend had to mop that pee up.
Oh no.
And we saw that guy about a year ago or so when we were playing Pokemon Go. And she's like, "Hey, I think I recognize that guy. Do you know who that is? I can't think of who it is, but I feel like I know him." And I was like, "It's the guy that peed on the bar." Oh yeah. Yeah, he whipped it out, dude. He was peeing all over the bar,
That's
dude.
fucking horrifying. Jesus Christ.
He's pissing on the bar.
Oh, my Lord. That's rough.
I don't remember in that moment, too. Did we stop playing? What happened with us in that moment? Because everything went quiet. We might have still been playing our song, but we were all paying attention.
That's
to what was going on.
outrageous, man. Holy moly.
Those are mine. Those are my good ones. What you got, dude?
Jesus. I'm still trying to think of like, because I've definitely had bad days at work, but it's usually just like, man, this is shitty. Oh, I remember one. There was let me just tell this one. So, this is like kind of a bad work story, but basically it was my first job, which was working at the H-E-B, which if you're from Texas, you know is a big old grocery store. If you're not, it's a big old grocery store.
It is. It's like a Kroger. A lot of people have Kroger and stuff like that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a big old grocery store, and it was my first job I ever had, and it was a good job. Like, I didn't know it was a good job. I thought it was just an average or even shitty job because I had never worked another job. What, you mean everybody doesn't get a bonus around Christmas? What are you talking about? No, that's exactly what it was. It was a very good job, and I was getting moved up. Like, it started out as like, bag boy, cart pusher guy, and then I was like a cashier, and then they were actually training me to be the person out there, like, handing out samples and shit. So, which isn't even work. You're just like, yeah, you want to try this shit? But yeah, that's what I was doing right then. And I had talked to a person who I knew who worked at this a jewelry store, which they like get an hour plus commission and all this shit, and it was like really good money. I was like, hell yeah, I want to do that. So I literally just basically put in my 2 weeks notice. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go work at this fucking jewelry store. And I put in my 2 weeks notice, and the freaking bosses and the manager and whatnot call me into the office, after I do that, and they're like, "Well, Brandon, you're really doing good work here. We don't want you to go, man. Is there anything we can do to keep you around?" And I'm so fucking young, dumb, and full of gum, as you would say. I'm like certain that I'm just gonna leave this job and get a much better job. My nuts is swanging, as they say, because I'm certain that I'm the smart one. I know what's going on.
I feel like we're about to have a moment right out of the office.
It's fucked up, dude. I literally look at the fucking store manager sitting in front of me and go, "Yeah, I want your job." And he goes, "Well, Brandon, we can't do that." I was like, "Well, I guess I'll be going." And then they were like, "All right, well, we'll see you around, man. Have a nice day." And I stood up, and my fucking dick was swinging so hard I took a dude's knee out as I was walking. It was fucked up. And then, of course, because I'm an idiot, I did all that and then went to go apply for this job at this jewelry store. It's like, "Oh no, we're not hiring right now, man." So I just don't have a job. That's how that went. That's how that fucking went down.
So I was
a fucking idiot.
So this isn't so much about. So this is a story about you being a douche.
This is just me being stupid.
And karma biting you in the ass.
It wasn't even karma. It's just you're dumb, and that's not how shit works. But it was the first time I'd ever worked. I thought I knew what was going on. Obviously, I didn't. It was stupid. It was a bad time. And you live and you learn, and you take someone's knee out with your dick. But yeah, it was that. That's probably like the worst story I've got. Now I do have one amazing story that I'd like to share.
Let's go ahead and go for it.
Here's my good one. So until they closed in 2011, I worked at the Blockbuster Video here in Waco, Texas. Until it shut down. It was on Valley Mills. There were 2 stores, one closed, the one stayed open. I was at the one that stayed open. I love that job. It wasn't a particularly fun job, wasn't a particularly good paying job, but it was just chill. You got to rent video games and movies for free. It was great. And the thing about Blockbuster, when you work at Blockbuster, what you do is you check someone out and, it prints up the receipt and it has the due dates on the receipt. So one night I'm checking out this lady and she, the receipt prints out and I say, "Okay, so this one's new release. This one's a 5-day rental. So this one's due back Wednesday and this one's due back Saturday," and put them in the bag. There you go. Due dates are on the receipt. You have a nice day. And she takes the bag, and I swear to God, she looks me in the fucking eye. She goes, "I can read. Thanks." And she starts to leave. And at Blockbuster, we had these big glass double doors. And she walks over to the door on the right and gets to it and goes, and tries to push it open, and it's not moving. And I'm right there next to her, and I just casually walk over and point at the sign that says, "Please use other door." And I've never seen anyone leave a Blockbuster faster. She was so goddamn embarrassed. And I just fell on my ass laughing. That's what you call instant karma. Fuck you, bitch. Oh my God, I was so happy.
People should know, you're supposed to read those things off.
And just don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be a douche about that.
In general, don't be a dick.
Here's another good one. I'll try to keep this one short. Because this one involves my good buddy Brandon.
Oh no!
And said good buddy's honking on the floor, said good buddy talking about wrestling to me, while he points out my good buddy honking on the floor. So I worked at a gaming store, and there was this kid that came in.
Shit.
And he was a bit obnoxious. By the end of it, he had some endearing things about him. All right. Here we go.
You'll never hear me say that shit.
You won't. But I was around him enough to where I was like, the kid just wants some damn friends. But he was cheating at a little bit of cards, playing Brandon and them on some magic or whatever.
I like my magic.
And I don't remember how we got on the topic, but we started a text.
You're talking about the text chain. We have a text chain with the four of us. The wrestling good buddy, the honking good buddy, me and Roger.
Yep. I proposed the question. Hey, his face, the kid, the obnoxious kid.
The kid we're talking about.
He looks like he's one of those people that when you're scrolling on Facebook, you have to scroll back up really fast because you just glanced at somebody that you definitely knew and they had committed a crime.
And you scroll back up and oh man, homeboy got picked up.
Yeah. What crime did he commit?
And I'm the one who said,
I I said that he probably stabbed somebody with a pocket knife.
You said he probably stabbed somebody with a pocket knife. I said...
Which I feel is still accurate.
I feel bad about this. I'm not proud of this. Please admire please appreciate my candor as I say this. I said, for sure, some kind of sexual assault. The question is, was it against a family member? Which is fucked up. Which is really fucked up. And I take no pride in that statement. To which Honkin' Good Buddy, I believe, is the one who said, are you saying he's some kind of diddler?
Yep.
And the next thing you know, we're all just calling this guy the diddler.
Everybody's calling him the diddler. Okay. And then somebody...
Somehow...
So, okay, one of our good buddies, I think maybe the honkin' one.
Oh, no.
Again, tells... You remember the hippo lady in this? Yeah. And I said that was somebody that I definitely worked with this person.
We can't say names.
Honkin' Good Buddy told the hippo Good Buddy. Yeah, Honkin' Good Burger. Honkin' Good Buddy told the hippo Good Buddy that he was being referred to as the diddler. And then next thing you know, everybody in that goddamn game store is calling him the diddler. Not just anybody. So Hippo Good Buddy. He calls himself the diddler even. The Hippo Good Buddy, the kid plays Yu-Gi-Oh! A whole lot. The first time I had to deal with a whole lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Kids, and I love them Yu-Gi-Oh! Kids to death. The Yu-Gi nerds, they're great. Yeah, they were great. But they are all a bunch of those little hippos. They're all bad people. So Hippo Good Buddy tells one of the Yu-Gi nerds. And then I'm sitting in there, maybe a week later. And you're just like, what? Maybe a week later, and they're playing a game or whatever, and they're trying to get him to hurry up, and they say, hey... Stop diddling around. And then I was like, my eyes lit up. They all just chuckle and you're like, oh shit. My eyes lit up and I look across the counter at them and there are like 12 pairs of eyes peering at me with gigantic grins on their face. It's fucking awful. It's fucking awful. And they called him the diddler so much and he embraced it. One time, he introduced himself and he says, hey, I'm blank. They call me the diddler. I've been trying for like a month or 2 months to get people not to call him the diddler anymore. And these new people come in and he's trading with them or whatever. And they say, hey, man, what is your name again? He says, my name is blank, but all my friends call me the diddler. And I had, you ever seen the Steve Harvey existential breakdown? Yeah, he was just like, your friend is a duck. That's fucked up. I was melting down. Oh my god. If you're out there, you know who you are, and I can't apologize enough. But also, fuck, dude. The first time I heard someone say it, he was like looking at one of their cards, and the person says, hey man, quit diddling with it. Like, yeah, they kept cracking at him, dude. The Mickey nerds were. And every time, like, they know that I'd hear it, dude, and they'd all be smiling at me. I was fucked up. Like, oh, no. Because initially, like, it started out, too, like, they thought that I started it. Well. And I did not start it. I did not say that. You know what? I wouldn't say you started. I would say you were the goddamn catalyst with your Facebook criminal line. Yeah. All right? All right, that's fine. You can't run away from that one. I'm not saying that I wasn't a part of the conversation. You certainly contributed. Where it was birthed. All right. But all right. That's that Allie. Question. Those are some good work stories for Allie, you. I love you so much. Thank you so much. I hope you guys really get. I feel like that was maybe one of the best questions we've ever answered. That was a really good one. And it was so appropriate for this show. Yeah. Our next one, we got a question from our good buddy Clayton. Hell yeah. And this is a little tougher one. He puts hard mode down here. Oh no. What are the differences between Western animation and anime? Hard mode, visual style doesn't count. I think we could talk this one out together. I think often, I'll start. I think often in Western animation, we get more shows that are not continuous. They're a bunch of one-shots. And they'll have minor continuations where anime, for the most part, has major continuations. At least the anime we get over here, for the most part, it's far more uncommon to get a proper story. Yeah, it's far more uncommon to get something that is very loosely, something like Family Guy or A bunch of like the adult cartoons.
Usually it's just like here's the world, here's the people, here are their roles, and then it's just situation.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily like nothing particularly stays from one episode to the other.
Yeah, but even children's cartoon, like the Nickelodeon cartoons, especially back in the 90s.
I'll tell you one thing though, if you want some of that, you need to check out Steven Universe. I've been trying to get you to watch it forever.
I watched the first few episodes and I did like it. I don't know why I haven't gone back, but I will.
It's good shit. But yeah, that
but
one,
now
even that was slightly anime
Steven
inspired.
Universe, yes, is anime inspired. There's things like Teen Titans and a bunch of they're all anime inspired. So they have these more I guess focused stories.
Yeah.
Than it being very loose. Hey, this is the same universe.
Yeah, it's much more. It's much closer to like like a live action show in America.
Yeah, and
which like has a storyline from episode to episode.
Yeah. And
whereas,
it feels in anime, it's not like if in Western animation, Western cartoons, if you have something that goes back to another spot in another episode, they call out that, and often it doesn't happen so long that it makes it something kind of special. You're like, oh shit, they're bringing that joke back. But in anime, it's they can go 3 arcs ago into something, and it's like it just. It doesn't refresh you or anything. It's just a key part of the story. Yeah. It doesn't feel as special, but it's supposed to be there.
Yeah. I mean, beyond that, and like you said, obviously the visual styles are very different. But beyond that, I don't... I mean, one thing is just the cultures which birth this or that show, Because, like... And I mean, you can have, like, the most... simple, like this is just an anime, like this is just a story about thing, and you're still probably going to get a couple panty shots. That doesn't happen very often in Western animation. I've seen or
even
almost at all.
Even Pokemon and stuff. Pokemon, which is for kids, over there you still get like some fan service and stuff popping up in there. Whereas SpongeBob, you don't get that. You get some.
I don't know, man. That episode where they both wrestled and they were like pink and yellow underwear.
Yeah,
pretty fucking hot.
You definitely get some adult themed things that they slip them in, they sneak them in. But good question, man.
Yeah, I like that
one. That one was tough.
Yeah, that's good.
Clearly, the first thing is like, well, have you seen
these fucking eyes? Look at these goddamn eyes. Why has everybody got that one sweat drop when they're nervous? What's that about?
Yeah, what is that about? I mentioned Teen Titans. That was heavily inspired.
Yeah, they had like all
staff,
the little.
They were required to watch Fooly Cooly before they worked on the project.
That's great.
Yep, and that's why you'll see a lot of the SD characters and stuff, and the super deformed, chibi characters and stuff in Teen Titans is all inspired by Fooly Cooly.
That show was good.
Which Fooly Cooly is recording right now. In 6 minutes, the episode of Progressive, the first episode, is airing.
Oh shit! I'm definitely missing it. Oh well.
Well, I mean, maybe we can figure it out as soon as you get home. You get the hell out of here. It'll be aired. I'm gonna try to find it. I want to watch it, but I wanted to tie that all in together. One final question from our good buddy Renook. He asked, "Would you rather be transported to another world with mythical creatures like elves and dragons and stuff like that, or a world with advanced technology?" Like spaceships and giant robots and stuff.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Also, would you make yourself overpowered or evenly leveled for your age if transported? I can answer this one pretty quickly, I feel like.
I want both, first of all, but no, go ahead, man.
I will go to the advanced world because I've always wanted a mech.
For sure you would.
And I would definitely be overpowered. I would be OP as a mug. My fat ass would be way beyond the limits that I could ever do right now.
Oh my god, you're the worst.
And I would have a harem.
Jesus Christ. You're the fucking worst.
I'm going to Tenchi Muyo. I'm going to be Tenchi Muyo.
I want an adorable little cat bunny that turns into a spaceship.
Yeah, Ryo-Oki. Where's my Ryo-Oki?
I want my Ryo-Oki. She go, yeah. All right.
I got Vex. That's a cheap cat. I want the real thing.
Oh no!
She's the dollar store
You're
Ryo-Oki.
being replaced. That's that a great value Ryo-Oki.
Yeah.
You're the fucking worst. Man, that's a rough one because I I will say that I definitely see the appeal of the advanced technology and whatnot, and the robots and the lasers and all that cool shit. But also, I've been playing a lot of fantasy video games and like Dungeons and Dragons lately. So fuck, that sounds fun as hell. I don't know. I think I probably would. In my heart, I would want to go to the advanced technology thing.
Yeah.
That's the world.
Because if you're going to die, why not die in the cold vacuum of space?
Fuck that, though. I mean, it's just, there's definitely, I want to explore. I want to see other planets and shit.
Sure.
Like, that's the thing. Like, I could have a world that's like all magic and elves and shit, and that's really neat, but I want to know what's going up on the moon. Like, let me hit that up. Like, shit. So yeah, I probably would go tech just so I could fly around and shit. I don't know. I feel like...
Would you get a mech or a spaceship?
I want the spaceship. I definitely want a spaceship.
What if it's like Robotech where it transforms in? It's kind of like a transformer. It goes into sick. Like a plane or something, a space plane, but it can also be a mech. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
You can have the best of both.
¿Por qué no
the best
los dos?
Of them all.
¿Por qué no los dos?
I'm gonna be Tenchi Muyo.
I want to be Tenchi Muyo.
Tenchi Misaki.
I want all the sexy ladies.
I do know his name is Tenchi Misaki, by the way. It's way funnier to say Tenchi Muyo.
It is more fun to say I want to be Tenchi Muyo. Yeah, I'd probably go spaceship. Hey, you can be Tenchi. I'll be Spike. Let's fucking fight, dude.
Okay.
Who wins?
I don't know, man. I got a lightsaber.
I got guns.
I got guns too.
I can shoot your ass. My ship's cooler than yours.
You do have a cool ship, man.
And I got I got twins.
The real fight is Gene Starwind and Spike Spiegel.
Well, obviously,
it's the most perfect fight.
All right, Gene Starwind versus Spike Spiegel versus Vash.
Well, Vash would lose.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he would.
Just right off the bat.
They got spaceships.
He's got guns and shit. I'm saying like they all teleport onto the ground.
Okay, it's all just a fair fight, hand to hand combat.
Hand to hand. Well, let's say they have guns. They all use guns.
Okay. Well, Gene has that the spellcaster gun.
Yeah.
And those things they suck really powerful entities up in one shot if they use one of the magic bullets.
Yeah, but fucking Vash has a goddamn angel arm if he wants to use it. He does. Which he would never use.
No, but Spike has like water, dude.
You gotta flow like water.
He's got that fluid motion.
He would just dodge everything and then shoot you with his regular ass gun. His regular normal ass gun and his robot eye.
He'd do the cool little bang trick.
Yeah, that's the best.
Go ahead and cry.
Not now.
Oh man. But
yeah, I think I would go. I think I would go tech. I want a spaceship, and see that's the thing. Like, if I'm OP, like fuck, dude.
If I'm OP,
I want to be OP.
I'm gonna be OP, dude.
You can be okay. You can be OP, and I'll be your best buddy.
I'm gonna be OP.
I'll be your normal best buddy who eventually gets killed in a big battle, and then you have a big moment where you're like, no, and then you can't take everyone out. That's how that'll happen.
Who's gonna watch me in my harem?
I have to watch?
Duh.
Fuck you, dude. You dick. Hey, bro, I'm taking Ryo-Oki out for a spin. Just toss me the bunny keys. That's fucked up. All right,
man. That was a good round of questions. Thank you, Renaud.
That was good shit, man. Thank you, Renaud. Thank you, Clayton. Thank you, Allie. You all
send us some more questions in, guys.
Really good stuff.
Those were all really great questions. Those
really great questions.
Really great questions. Great
questions.
All got right. Any grapes?
You got any grape? You got any nails?
I saw this thing about how to make refreshing juice for the summer or whatever.
What in God's name?
Somebody put it was like one of those. Have you seen those food videos or those how-to videos?
Yeah.
Where they're super cutesy, and like it'll have like little text and stuff popping up as they're making it, and it's just like a light elevator music in the background. They put like some grape Kool-Aid in the bottom of a pitcher, and they said bowl of water number 1, bowl of water number 2. They do 3 bowls of water in it. And then cap it off. So,
and that's the juice?
Yeah.
That's the whole juice?
It's so good.
It's just water. It's just Kool-Aid.
So good. It's so perfectly. And they start with a fork.
First of all, fuck grape Kool-Aid. You go cherry, strawberry.
I love
you
grape,
don't goddamn
dude.
talk to me.
I
like grapes. I don't like grape flavored shit. I can do maybe grape jelly. That's about
Man,
it.
them dogs going buck a wild out there.
Yeah, they're barking
dude.
it up out there.
All right, man. Let's close it off. Let's do all of our plugs and get the heck out of here. I think this is going to be a real nice, timely episode, hopefully.
Well, I mean, I feel like with all the extra stories, we're hitting about 2 hours, but we're getting
Yeah,
there.
you might be right.
But let's shout out. Where are we going? Facebook. Tell me about Facebook.
We'll be on Facebook. You can find us at the Good Buddies Universe. We have a group. Just ask to be in it, and I'll put you in right away. I'll see it as soon as it happens. YouTube, you can find us at Rapid Kick Media.
Mm-hmm.
Please subscribe to the channel. On audio spots, you can find us at podcast.com. You can find us on the Podbean, on the Stitcher, on the Google Play, on the iTunes.
I use Podcast
Anywhere
Addict.
pretty much but Spotify. Spotify's hard to get onto, but eventually one day we will be there. If you're on any of those audio spots, please leave us some stars. And maybe a nice thing. You say something, wow, they told some really funny stories. You should definitely listen to them.
Yeah.
Something like that. That would make us feel really good, and it would really help us out.
Did you already say where they can send us the questions?
You can send us questions to the Good Buddies Anime Pod at gmail.com, or you can send them to Twitter. You can just tweet them at me at TGB_Anime Pod, all lowercase. That's our Twitter.
We also have the Tumblr, thegoodbuddies.tumblr.com.
pretty much,
you can send Ask there as well.
Yep. Pretty much anywhere you can leave a comment, you can ask us a question, and I guarantee you that we will find it.
Yeah, man. I would also like to give a shout out to our good buddies, Married with Seamonsters, a.k.a. the Mary Janes, for the use of our opening thing, Paperdoll. You can find them on Married with Seamonsters at .bandcamp.com.
Mm-hmm.
I said that right. They're also on Spotify. Check them out. And, of course, our good buddy, Petty Theft.
Yep, with outro music.
Yeah,
I still haven't given it a title.
Outro music.
Maybe we just need to think of a title together to give it.
I kind of... Let's just call it I don't know. We'll think about that later. But yeah, Petty Theft, he's on SoundCloud, 2 P's at the beginning and 2 T's at the end, right? Yeah, Petty Theft.
Good guy right there. Good music.
And is that about it for the show?
I think that's it, dude.
Next week we're going over... this is 10 episodes. We just did 4. We doing like 3 or 4 and then 2?
I
are we doing?
think, you know what we could do? If this is possible, I don't know if it's possible or not. We can just tease it that maybe it'll happen. We could do 3 episodes... And then if we can both manage to watch that new Fooly Cooly episode, we could cover that first Fooly Cooly episode. And then we can just go over the whole series later, but just as a special little treat to pass some time. But if not, we can just do the 3.
I think we should just do the 3 because that Fooly Cooly episode is going to be hard for me to get to.
We're just passing time. This is a great series. I'm really happy that we picked it.
But yeah, I definitely do want to talk about that later.
Yeah, we're passing some time to get to the... I have the next series timed out perfectly with this one, so we just need 2 episodes to go through, and then we'll hit straight into that next series, which I'm super excited about.
Hell yeah, man, it's gonna be the good shit.
Yep.
So 3 and 3, 3.
Yeah, we'll do 3 and 3, and maybe we can get some really awesome questions that we can elaborate on.
Yeah, man.
And then we'll just do Fooly Cooly.
I'm sure we'll find something.
We will do
to talk
Fooly
about.
Cooly. That is
for sure.
That is a guarantee.
I definitely want to see that. But I think that's about it for the show. This is where the music starts.
Yeah.
And from all of us here at the Good Buddies universe, I'm your good buddy Brandon.
I'm your good buddy Roger.